Alright, it's Barry, and today I'm going to show you how you can grow your own vegetables indoors using hydroponics, and I'll also show you how you can make an effective wireless mini hydroponic system that you can use or take anywhere. And the best part is it costs less than £20 to make. It's the first week of autumn, and that means that winter is lurking just around the corner, and as temperatures start to drop it becomes gradually more difficult to grow plants outdoors. But by moving your food growing processes indoors into a hydroponic system, it's possible to produce consistent, perfect plants with minimal maintenance, and they also look interesting as well. First today I'll give you a bit of a rundown on hydroponic gardening and what exactly that involves, and then I've got my top 5 crops to grow in a mini system, and then finally I'll show you how to make your own DIY hydroponic system that you can put anywhere. I won't go into tons of detail about what hydroponics is in this video, but the basics are that hydroponics is a way to grow plants without soil by using mineral nutrient solutions in water. Hydroponics offers many advantages over traditional soil-based methods, especially in terms of water usage and efficiency. For example, traditionally grown tomatoes require around 400 litres of water per kilogram, while using hydroponics this is reduced to around 70 litres. This also opens up the potential for food crops to be grown in environments where water is in short supply, providing a valuable and reliable source of food. There's an array of different types of hydroponic system, and again I won't go into too much detail on those today, but the system I'll be showing you how to make is the simplest version called deep water culture, or DWC for short. This method works by suspending the plant roots in a solution of nutrient-rich oxygenated water. Normally they consist of a plastic bucket or a large container with the plant contained in a net pot suspended from the lid with the roots suspended in the nutrient solution. The solution is oxygen saturated by an air pump combined with earth stones. With this method the plants grow much faster because of the high amount of oxygen that the roots receive, which is ideal for my fast turnaround lettuces. When it comes to choosing ideal crops for growing in a system like the one that we're going to make today, the most important things to consider are how big the plant's going to grow, how long they take to grow, and what conditions the plants ideally need to grow in. My recommendation for a small home system is to grow leafy vegetables like lettuce or kale and herbs, which are all perfect for growing on your kitchen windowsill. So here's my top 5 seeds for growing it in your system. Peppers and tomatoes are a bit more of an advanced group of plants to try and grow hydroponically due to the increased need for precise nutrition, temperature, light intensity and general upkeep, but they are rewarding plants to be able to grow all year round and definitely are more fun plants to grow. With so many interesting varieties available, kale is a great plant to try in your hydroponic system. The best part with leafy vegetables is choosing varieties that you can just take as many leaves as you need and the plant will just carry on growing ready for next time. Kale fits in that bracket, and even better, hydroponic kale will take less time to grow than outdoor grown plants. If you make a system that can fit on the kitchen windowsill, for example, you can stock it up with all the herbs that you need for any recipe. Herbs are low maintenance, and within a couple of weeks you'll already have more herbs than you can even use. Strawberries are one that I definitely want to try for myself, and I think I'll probably wait until next spring to try those, and I'll grow them in the greenhouse using the portable system that I'll show you shortly, but I think that they'll be a great one to try in there using the natural sunlight. And finally, the plants that I grow the most, and that's lettuce. Lettuces are one of the best plants to grow hydroponically when it comes to producing crops with the fastest turnaround. So let's make our portable hydroponic system and get growing. So here we are, here's everything that we need to make the system and grow some plants, and I'll make sure to add links to everything that you need in the description. So we've got a plastic tub with a lid, and this is from IKEA, and I chose this one for making the mini system. I've also got the bigger ones at home in the tent that work exactly the same. Just make sure that your tub's deep enough to allow root growth, and you'll have to space your plants out appropriately. I know that I can grow 5 lettuces in this one, but you could grow a higher quantity of smaller plants like herbs, or you could only really fit 2 medium plants like chilies, or 1 big plant like a tomato plant. If possible, it's better to use a black tub just to keep the light out, especially with longer living crops, but I like to see the internal stuff, and with such a short turnaround growing lettuce, it doesn't really cause me any problems. Next here I've got my drill fitted with a 75mm hole saw, and this is for making the holes in the lid, and this is just for our pots to sit in. And speaking of which, here's the pots that we're going to be using. These are 3-inch net pots, which as you'll guess can hold the growing medium and the plant while allowing the roots to grow down into the tank. This is the growing medium that I'll be using to fill the pots, and this is just little bits of volcanic rock which is quite light and it retains moisture to make sure that the roots don't dry out. You can also use cocoa fibre, which is made from repurposed coconut skins, I don't know, coconut pelts, hair, whatever you call it, or you can use clay pebbles, which is similar to the rocks that I'm using today. When it comes to sowing and starting off your seeds, the easiest and most reliable way is to use rock wool plugs like these. Then here's a selection of additives that I'll be using in my system, although if you're growing lettuces like me, they'll grow perfectly fine with just nutrient solution, as they don't need a huge amount of nutrition to grow successfully when compared to fruiting plants, for example. I've also got silicone, fulvic acid and hydrogen peroxide, which I'll save for another video rather than go too heavy on the scientific details on this one. Of course, I'd certainly recommend using a weekly dose of hydrogen peroxide to prevent algae taking over your tank and keep the nutrient solution in good condition for the duration of your plant growth. Alternatively, you can empty and replace your solution weekly instead. And here's the key to maximising yield and keeping plants healthy: an air pump. It's really important to keep the nutrient solution oxygenated, and while it's possible to do all of this without oxygenation, it makes a huge difference to root health, plant health as a whole, and in turn it makes your plants bigger and tastier. I'll show you this nifty bit of kit in a minute. Oh yeah, and of course finally and most importantly, you're going to need some seeds. I'll be sowing some crimson romaine variety lettuces today, and that's just because I haven't tried them yet in a hydroponic system with the extra height on the plants, so yeah, I'm really interested to see how they turn out. So now that we've got all the bits, let's get this made. First of all, I'm going to drill the required amount of holes into the lid, maintaining even spacing in a pattern that maximises the growing space and airflow. I'm going for 5 plants in this one, so I'll just put a hole in each corner and one in the middle. It's probably worth checking that your drill's charged before you start. There we go, that's done, and I also just need to drill an extra smaller hole in the top just to run the air lines through from the pump into the tank. Now that's done, you can see the basic shape of the tank coming together, and you can also see how easy this is. Next up, I'll show you this air pump, and I got this on Amazon for around £12, I think. This is going to produce loads of bubbles from the floor of the tank, loading up the water with oxygen for the plants to use, just like you would do in a fish tank. That's why the box insists that I enjoy my fish. I'll just open this up, and inside is this net bag, and that contains 2 air lines, 2 small air stones and 2 regulator valves, which basically just stop the water from siphoning back out of the tank into the pump. Also in the box is the pump itself, which contains its own battery and is rechargeable by USB. That means that I can grow hydroponic plants in my greenhouse at my allotment and still use oxygenating air pumps without the need for electrical outlets, because there's definitely none of those there. For now though, this one is going to be living in my front porch at home where it's a bit warmer. So to assemble this, we just put the air lines through the small hole on the top, and then I'll attach these to the pump just with the regulator valves just before it goes into the pump. And then once that's done, I'll just put the air stones on the other end, and they're inside the tub ready to go. Another thing that I liked about this pump is that it does have 2 modes of operation. It's got a constant on mode and an intermittent mode that switches the pump on and off, and I think that's in 10-second intervals, which will double the length of the time between charges. Anyway, the pump's ready, so I'm just going to quickly fill this up with some water. There we go, and as always I managed to get that everywhere. Ideally this should be pure water that's had everything removed through reverse osmosis, for example, but again, as this is a fast turnaround crop, I've had no issues using tap water here in the UK. And now that that water's ready, it's time to add all of the additional components into the solution. First up, I've got my nutrient mixture. There's tons of different ones on the market, but this particular one's called Formulex by Growth Technologies, and up to now for me it's been good for growing lettuces, and I just dilute this as according to the instructions and just do the same for whatever product that you use. I'll also just be adding some silicone and fulvic acid to my mixture just to promote some strong growth and nutrient uptake in the early stages, and finally I'll be adding a dose of hydrogen peroxide to keep the mixture clean. At the correct dilution, it won't harm the plant roots, but it will clear up any biological pollutants like algae in the water. And then over a couple of days, the hydrogen peroxide just decomposes into water and oxygen, which adds even more beneficial oxygen into the water for the plants to use. The last thing we need to do is check the pH of the water, which we need to be around 6 to 6.5. If it's a bit high like this is because I've added the silicone. It might be necessary to use a pH down product, which is basically just a strong acid, but in most cases it should be fine. There we go, I've added that now and it's reading 6.2, which is ideal. And there we go, the tank's ready, the water's in, the nutrient solution's in and all the other components, and the pump's ready. So all I'm going to do now is leave this just for a couple of hours just to make sure that all of those extra components that we've added in, like the nutrient solution, are completely mixed together. And while I'm waiting for that, I might as well sow some seeds, and here I've got rock wool plugs, which are made from superheated molten rock that's been spun into this fluffy material and then compressed into shape. These hold water really well, and these ones have been soaked in water for around 15 minutes and they're ready to go. All you need to do is drop in a couple of seeds into each hole. I like to use tweezers, but sometimes it helps to stick something into the hole first just to open it up a bit. And that's it. Keep them in a propagator with a lid, and in around 3 days you'll be able to see some of the seeds germinating, and then within a week you can take the lid off once the seeds have all germinated. And if you're growing these under a grow light, in 2 to 3 weeks they'll be ready to add to your system, or if you're growing them using natural light it may take a week longer. Here's some that I grew earlier, and these are a butterhead variety. Although I do like to use Lola Rossa as well, I wanted to try these ones for a change. These particular ones are actually 3 or 4 weeks old now, but they're still perfectly fine to grow in the system, although I would like to usually have them a little bit smaller than this. I just add some of the stones to the bottom of the net pot, and then I add the plug, making sure that I don't smush the roots, and then I'll fill the rest of the space out with the stones until it's full. All that's left to do now is to stick this into the tank, and then in around 3 to 4 weeks we'll have some fat lettuces. I'll be keeping this tank in my porch at home just to grow in the sun, but as the days get shorter and the sunlight starts to lose intensity, it will be best to add a supplementary grow light just to keep the system running until spring. And there we go, we've finished, and that is a completely portable DIY hydroponic system for not very much money at all. Well, that's it for today, and I hope this has inspired you to try growing your own vegetables using hydroponics. Don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss my updates on these lettuces in the next couple of weeks, and I'll show you just how quickly these grow. Make sure that you let me know in the comments if you make your own system, or even if you're already growing using hydroponics, and if you do make one, send me a picture or a video of your plants growing, and I'll see you next time.